Welcome to episode 14 of the No Scrubs podcast. I'm your host, Lewis, and joined with me today, a man who comes with 2 monitors. Stephen,
Yeah!
How you going?
I am doing very well. As I sort of said before, we like to talk about Dragon Ball GT a fair bit, but I have something to say that is relevant. So, there's a game that I'll say, no, I'm done. The gameplay loop is not that great, but they keep on reeling me in when shit goes on sale, like the DLC. I'm talking about Xenoverse 2.
I had a feeling that's where this was going.
Bought a couple of DLCs, like one was like marked down from like $30 to $11. But the reason why I want to talk about that is so there's a Dragon Ball shitposting group, and they've been talking about this certain created character called Lord Paragon. And the lore behind this is it's a dude who the backstory of the character was basically Bojack, a movie villain, impregnated Goku's wife, and now he's stronger. He's grown up to be stronger than the gods and the angels. That's whatever. But the reason why he's been taken off as a meme is he would do this thing where if you beat him or tried, because he would disconnect, he would commission art of his character having sex with your character and just spam you with it.
Wow. That is quite the story for the introduction of the show.
Yeah. Yeah.
Welcome to the Grand Tour, I guess.
Grand Tour.
I realised that was an introduction that I said on the last one. Oh, now I know what the intro should have been. But I was like, I've got to use it. We've got to celebrate Stephen having 2 monitors and joining us in 2025. Because I'll be honest, 2 to me is the minimum. 3, probably the ideal. But 2, you're like, all right, that's good. 1, I couldn't do it. Guy, when he's from one of our other offices, that makes it sound like the company I work for has got many offices, but there are just 2, and he just works in there solo. He was in our office today, and he was like, "Man, what do you have 3 monitors?" I'm like, what do you mean? And then looks around and sees that everyone, well, bar one other person, everyone's got 3 monitors. He's like, "What the fuck? Like, you just ask for another monitor, bro. They'll give you one." Like, I was like, "I'm getting an upgrade on this one later, like, next week." He's like, "What?" But I've got an old 4x3 monitor on my left-hand side that I've had since I've worked there. And when I joined, I was like, man, a 4x3 monitor, isn't that kind of cute? And then I've been there 10 years and I haven't upgraded it. So it's time. It is indeed time. So the first thing that we want to talk about today is something that really we should have talked about 2 weeks ago, but it is still relevant. And that is the Stop Killing Games movement. So I had a window open before. Oh, no, there it is. Just want to talk a little bit about this and hopefully represent it correctly. But essentially, it is a gamer-led campaign protesting the shutdown of online-only games. Right? So the biggest example people have been using is The Crew from Ubisoft, because I love shitting on Ubisoft. But that is actually the best example, and that's what they've used here. So they're trying to put this in front of the European Union to see if, because the European Union is really good for actually getting shit done. So they were like, Apple, you're using your own proprietary port. You're going to have to start using USB-C. And they're like, no, we're not going to do it. And they're like, well, you're going to do it or you're not going to fucking sell iPhones in Europe. And then they're like, all right. And now iPhones have got USB-C on them. And it's a major benefit to everyone. To just the fact is, so the Lightning connector was really good back in the day, and it was nice that you could put it on either side, right? And it charged faster and had better data transfers, but it got left behind. So iPhone users massively benefit from this, and this is the kind of stuff the European Union does, because Europe's got over 600 million people living in Europe, so it's a pretty big market to say no. Like, so if this could get traction, it'd be great for something like The Crew, which had a heap of single-player content, but the game was online only, that now that game is shut down, you might have paid, New Zealand, new games, 120 bucks. You might have paid 120 bucks for it. It's like too fucking bad, Or you only had a license for this. So the demands are that players keep access to the games they've bought, publishers stop disabling purchased games, games be preserved like other media, like movies and books, offline modes or server code be released when games are shut down. So my understanding is the movement isn't demanding that, let's say you've got an MMO, there's a game, WildStar, right? Oh,
hey.
You know what? I've actually got another one, WildStar would work, but a game I played, Lawbreakers, right? It was a team-based FPS, kind of like Overwatch, but you had a lot more solo carry potential in it, which I really liked about it at the time because I was kind of sweaty playing games back then, and now I'm not. Now I'm a casual. So I own Lawbreakers, and I boot it up, and I get a loading to server screen, and you can't boot into the game. You can't do anything offline or anything. Fans were trying to find there was a offline tournament build at some stage, so the game could actually have been played offline, or LAN, or people host their own servers, but they just didn't release that version. Or I know, so the studio that made it, Boss Key Productions, that was headed by Cliffy B. It was published by who are the guys who do MapleStory?
Nexon,
yeah. So Nexon published it, and Nexon were like, he was like, we just need if you can give us a little more money, we'll do this last patch, we can make this happen, and then players can. And Nexon were like, nah, we're done with you. And I understand from both perspectives, Nexon being like, this game just lost us money, so we're not gonna give you more money to make this happen. But from the consumer perspective, I've now got something in my Steam library that is worthless. And an offline mode, so even if people could host their own servers, would be amazing. And I know this isn't exactly what the movement is asking for, but I actually that's what I would want, is give people the ability to host their own servers. Like, I was hearing about World of Warcraft has what they call, like, server emulators and stuff like that, and people have got workarounds. They can host their own servers for a game like WoW, which is massive. So I am massively in favor of all of this, and even a step further, because it's pro-consumer, right? Yes, I'm not a game developer. I'm sure that it's not as easy as flicking a switch, but I think that games should be developed in mind, with these things in mind, that if the server's shut down, the people will have a way to be able to play the game. So I've gone on. Stephen, what are your thoughts on this?
Oh, I think it's like one thing that if you're releasing an MMO or a solely online service game, the minimum you can do is have a end of life failsafe plan, or just like a backup. Because yeah, you'll play like some MMOs that are like free, or even the ones you pay for, whatever. The problem is that when you shut down the servers, there's people who would have spent like hundreds of grands, and that just turns to piss.
Yeah, microtransactions and all sorts, everything that people spend their lives in MMOs. Imagine you've spent thousands of hours in it, and then this part of your life is just gone.
It's like I like the approach with Dragon Ball Online. That their servers closed. Like they had a international version in the pipe. Started off with a Korean server, which you couldn't really access because with Korean MMOs, from my understanding, you need to have like basically the social security number to verify that like it's you.
Some kind of like government identifier.
Yeah. So when the Taiwan version came out, there was a workaround. There was like someone would release a translation, but the problem was every time that the game had to update, you had to reapply the new translation. Now that game shut down in like, I want to say late 2000s, early 2010s, but because of private server, all the content's there. All the whole game is translated, but also to the point where the people who are working on the game, they've been able to add things in that weren't in the original build. Like they've added a transformation, which is, even though it's like pretty simple, they added in basically potential unlocked or potential unleashed.
Oh yeah.
And they did some other cool things, like they made the Super Saiyan 4 Daima skin. And it's cool that because they have access to this like private server, they can add stuff like that in. And I think that's the way to go, as opposed to it's like, okay, like you said, you spent like $120 on a game, you don't own it, you have a license to play it, and then nah, gone. I like the idea of an end of life plan, or give them a build or something that you've got a dedicated community and they can still play it, but also add stuff to it. And like, I think probably the worst thing you could do is if a live service game shuts down, here's your refund.
Yeah, look, as much as I don't agree with the refund within reason, like Concord, great example of a game was live 10 days or something, and they partly giving refunds because then they're like, we didn't make any money off it, we can write it off, like tax write off. But that's a very extreme example. That's a case where I'd agree with refund. But yes, I think that you've now got nothing to show for your money. Should you be entitled for a refund? Probably under some consumer law in some countries, possibly. But I would rather that instead of them giving refunds, just give us access to either an offline version or allow us to host our own servers. But on a side note, you brought up Dragon Ball twice in fucking 10 minutes of the 10 minutes of the show. Dude,
Hey, man, I just had them in.
Get a load of this fucking weeaboo, man. This fucking weeaboo.
Oh, it's hardly weeb. Like, fucking Dragon Ball Z is like Dragon Ball Z and Sailor Moon is like every weeb's first, every millennial's first anime.
Yeah. I mean, I've got...
It's hardly weeb.
Down there, we might not be able to see him. He's tucked down below there. We've got a wee Sal in the corner. Wee perfect Sal.
Hell yeah.
That was our boy Ben's. Shout out. So, yeah, like, you're just going to call out Weebery when I see it, mate.
But also, one thing I'd also like to add is the guy who actually like spearheaded the initiative, Ross, his YouTube channel's Accursed Farms.
Yep.
Dude comes across as a very earnest, lovely dude. Like, he did, like I said, when we were on stream, we were streaming the other day, does not really want to get in the mud of like the drama side of things, because he doesn't want like the message or the initiative to like be muddied in that. But it also helps the fact that because he's not going that way, he did a reaction to case by case points of Pirate Software, who basically said, "This shit sucks, eat my whole ass." Ross was actually like stopping, be like, I can't give like examples, but he's like, that's not what we're trying to achieve.
Yeah,
like
it was Pirate Software, who's a popular Twitch streamer, like massively just misrepresented the movement. And he's a game developer, and he'll tell you within 5 seconds of watching him that he worked for Blizzard, and his daddy worked for Blizzard too. But he just, because it's fine to disagree with it, right? And maybe as a developer you may disagree with it, but the problem isn't disagreeing. The problem is completely misrepresenting and misunderstanding the movement. And then he doubled down and tripled down, even though he was proven to be wrong, and he just kept doing it. And he has brought so much attention to this. The petition was probably, look, I might be misremembering, but I remember it probably being around 200,000 signatures or something, which is still pretty good. It reached over 1 million because Pirate Software kept going viral for misrepresenting the movement, and it's been the best thing for it possible, is him just being wrong. And Ross the whole time He's not slinging shit. He goes through Pyro Software's video and he says, "Oh look, I didn't want to do this because I wanted to avoid the drama, but here are the things that he's getting wrong about it." And he just goes through it. You could tell like there's no malintent or anything from Ross. He just wants the movement to be represented as it's intended. I think he does a great job of it. And if you want to learn really more about it and what it's all about, is check out Accursed Farms' video on it, because he just seems like an all-round good dude, presents the information well. He's just very passionate.
What's also quite funny is that he was even Pyro Software was even encouraging people not to sign it. But the funny thing is, it got a fair amount of signal boosting on like YouTube. Like you had like smaller YouTubers like Chud Logic covering it, but then you had bigger YouTubers like Moist Critical or Charlie. And sometimes it helps for people who have a presence to signal boost it and put more eyes onto a product or a case where most people would be like, I don't know what the fuck's going on. But if their internet daddy is like, hey, this initiative is quite cool. Also, Pyro Software is being disingenuous.
Yeah, the thing is, at the end of the day, what would have to be done for me to go against a pro-consumer movement as a consumer, right? Like I understand as well, like I say, once again, from a game developer, someone could be working on a game right now and be like, there is no way I could turn my game around into being an offline game, right? And that could be true, right? There could be a cutoff after a certain point. It's like, look, if your game started development and they say 2023 or behind, then sure, you don't need to implement any of these things. But if it started from 2024, 2025, whatever, right, then your game has to have these particular things and the ability to do this. And I think you're right. Like, I understand the thought of, if you're starting a project, right, let's say you're starting an MMO, you don't want to think of like a end of life kind of like wind down for your game that you're just starting, because you want it to be a massive success. But you have to be realistic as well. You have to like how many games exist, how many of those games are successful, how many of those games are in that top, like sell over 1 million copies, right? And when you break it down, like, sure, there's a heap of games that sell over 1 million copies, but what percentage is that? Less than like 1%? There's a shitload of games coming out. I mean, Steam's got, I don't know how many games it is a day, but it's obscene. Like, to try to play, let's say you spend the rest of your life trying to play or finish every game that came out in 2025. You would die before you got there. That's how many fucking games release every year. Like, not AAA games, not just AA, not indie, even games that are just less than what you'd consider indie. Like, there's shit uploaded every fucking minute. It's crazy. So
one thing that
maybe
I
not every
recall,
minute, but you get my point.
It wasn't like a an end of life plan or anything, because they're quite old. It was do you know that there was a Matrix MMO back in the day?
Yeah, that's right. There was a canon story being told through the video game.
Yeah. Well, what they did when they announced that the servers were going to be shut down at X. So what they did is, if I'm recalling this correctly, is come like the final day, or like counting down to when it was going to get taken offline, the devs or whatever, they just gave everyone like just max stats till the server was taken off. It's like, have that fun, go fucking wild for this as like a last hurrah.
It's cool. Like, dude, the idea of a Matrix game, though, it feels very meta, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So yeah,
yeah, actually.
But cool idea. I don't
unplugged
like
it.
this.
They
I don't like
unplugged
this
from it.
idea though of you've got a franchise and then you're gonna, we're gonna put canon story in the video game, and you're like, dude, it's a movie franchise or something. Or like, we're gonna put canon story in the book. Looking at you, Halo. There's more books than there are fucking games. I don't like this.
I hate to bring it up again, but Dragon Ball
Online. Wait,
They had some
what's the timer at? Dude,
20
3
minutes.
times in 20 minutes? God.
One thing that they did for the canon of Dragon Ball Online is because it takes place like hundreds of years after the Buu saga. Goku and Vegeta's conclusion of their story was basically they got old, and then they're like, let's have like one last bout, and they flew out of the
You
atmosphere.
tell me Dragon Ball Z final bout?
Yeah. Dragon Ball GT final bout.
My fault.
Yeah.
Welcome to Grand Tour.
And Grand Tour. And so they had one hell of a blat, and that the sound of their fight just echoed across the world. And it's like that was their tying up loose ends.
'Cause
They died of old age.
I don't mind that of being 100 years after, right? But it's not like Kingdom Hearts being like, here's the first game, and then you got Chain of Memories. You're like, okay, whatever, right? And there's the second game, great. And now here's a PSP game, which the PSP game was fucking bitching in the day. But here's a Nintendo DS game. Here's a mobile game. And all of these are canon, and you need to play all of these to get the story. It's just too much, bro. It's just too fucking much. Like, you have to own all of the platforms, and you're gonna even play this mobile game, which I'm pretty sure has been taken down now, and it's just.
Oh, and I also one thing that that annoyed me was like you had Kingdom Hearts, and it's like you think it would go like Kingdom Hearts 1, Kingdom Hearts 2, and it's like no, the Chain of Memories, the Game Boy Advance game that eventually came to PS2, the card fighter, that takes place basically immediately after 1. I was just like,
Yeah, it's fucking stupid.
your
And then Kingdom
storyboard
Hearts
should
3
be
was
shot.
dog shit. I fucking
Yeah.
it made me like. There's very few times where I've like, man, I'm embarrassed that I was a fan of Kingdom Hearts. Kingdom Hearts 3 made me feel so dumb for being a Kingdom Hearts fan as well. I was like, bro, I feel like a fucking idiot. This shit sucks.
You know when someone mentions something like a critique about the game, and you sort of had a feeling about it, but then once someone's actually like verbalized it, you're like, I can't unsee that.
Yeah.
One thing I fucking hated about Kingdom Hearts 3 is every world just felt like a trailer or advertisement to like that movie.
Yeah, because in the previous games, like obviously they've got Disney worlds, right? That's part of it. I'm not a Disney guy, but I'd say I've been a Square Enix guy. So I liked the Final Fantasy side, and less so the Disney. But Mushu was kind of a cool little summon in the first one though. Pro strat if you're fighting one of the secret bosses. I won't say who, but you break down a shield with Mushu. It's pretty cool strat. Only time a summon's fucking useful in that game. But dude, I can't believe I derailed myself. But yeah. So as someone who was that more of a Final Fantasy fan, and then the third one comes out, and they're like, Final Fantasy for you, mate. Only Disney, and the levels were just like normally things were like completely. So something about Kingdom Hearts 1 is they would throw you into these kind of canon events, right, from the movies and stuff, and then you would be breaking up how the events would go, and then the events would change like completely, and then you're off on your own little adventure. But in Kingdom Hearts 3, you just kind of followed. You were in there now, and you would interact with the characters, but you still followed the story almost to a T, and it was just really fucking boring. Like
I think
guess,
Tangled was probably one of the biggest offenders in it.
Yeah. The Frozen one was as well. Toy Story was different, but they just kept playing an instrumental version of You've Got a Friend in Me, but it would just play on repeat, and I got fucking sick of it.
The only upside to me about the only thing that I really enjoyed about the Toy Story level was it was pretty cool that you could jump in mechs, but I also liked it how they had that trailer for that fake game, which basically was looked looked like it took a lot of like cues, or it was inspired by the cancelled game Final Fantasy versus 13.
Yeah, it actually looked really cool.
Yeah.
I saw that footage of like that game the other day. Like, so it was like fake footage. It wasn't actually gameplay, but it was looking like gameplay. And you're like, oh yeah, that is Noctis, 100%. Like,
Yeah.
I see now why everyone was like, yeah, that became Final Fantasy 15, and you see him throwing the sword and teleporting to it. You're like, oh, 100%. This isn't just like that game became that. It completely was. Versus 13 really did become Final Fantasy 15.
I was such a goober. I remember when I was on
Hey, you
when
still
I had
are.
a PS. Yeah, but no. For like PS3, do you remember how you could just use download wallpapers
Oh yeah.
for your PS3? Mine was for the longest time Final Fantasy versus 13. It's like, man, I can't wait for this game to come out.
Keep waiting.
Yeah, and then I remember when Final Fantasy 15 got announced, I was like, okay, that's where it went.
That makes sense. But before we move on, Stephen, one more thing. You've got a friend in me. You've got... No, I'm not doing a second one. So,
Is
yeah,
it
anyway. We got a... I don't know. No, pull it up, Jamie. So, yeah, anyway, that was Stop Killing Games and a bit of Dragon Ball and a bit of Final Fantasy chat, but look up Accursed Farms, watch that video. It's definitely worth your time if you are interested, or if you live in Europe, especially. So something that you don't give a fuck about, and I'll be honest, I don't really care at this point either, but I thought it was interesting, is that The Last of Us Part 2, they added a chronological mode. So some people didn't like that the story was told kind of out of order in parts, but now it's going to be, there's a chronological mode, and I think that's an interesting idea, and it's giving people more value who have already bought the game and wanted reason to return to it, but doesn't
I
need
think
it.
that's cool.
No, I think it's cool. I do think it's cool, but this was a game that didn't need a remake in the first place. I think it is actually a remake and not a remaster, because I played the PS4 version maybe 2 years ago on PS5, and the game runs and looks fucking awesome on PS5 at the standard Last of Us 2, like not remake. Just didn't need a remake at all. I mean, the first one I don't think needed one either, but sure, remake the first one because maybe it needs it a little bit more.
Polish.
Yeah, just it's still cool they're adding free stuff to it, but I hope it wasn't Naughty Dog devs working on it and it was, one of Sony's other studios, because this is like your premier studio or one of your premier studios. You want them making new shit. You don't want them to keep just working on their previous game. You want them to be putting out stuff like bangers. You want, the next game, let's be honest, at this point, that Intergalactic, the Heretic Prophet, also, once again, terrible name. Intergalactic, cool. The Heretic Prophet, unnecessary. So you want them working on that. So I don't know if they've got another studio just working on the extra content for that. But this game's not going to be out until the PS6 is out. I swear to God, the PS6 is going to be out, and that's going to be a game that I don't know if it's going to be a launch game, because it'll probably release on PS5 as well. But yeah, we're only probably a couple of years away. We're probably, I'd expect 2027, maybe 2028 at the latest for PS6.
The whole chronological mode reminds me of Arrested Development. For one of their later seasons, they released it where it was episodes were like each episode that character was like a focal point.
Yeah.
But I think when it initially was played on like Netflix or something, it was just out of order. So then I think they've redid it as in chronological order.
Yeah. So I think it was that. Yeah, every character there was just character-specific episodes, and then it linked up at the end. And then, this was when Netflix took over, and then they redid it, and it was they spliced it so the events were. I think it was then chronological once they spliced it. So you got a bit of, because the idea of the TV show anyway is that yes, you have The Simpsons will have a Lisa episode, but the other characters are in it, right? But this was like this is a episode about Job, probably the best one to be fair. I love Will Arnett. But
I don't care. I don't really care for Job.
Bees?
Bees!
Oh, dude, Will Arnett fucking rules. But yeah, so I think as well, some people didn't like that with The Last of Us. I think that it's going to be worse chronological mode, but it's cool that they've also added they've added a roguelike mode to it as well. And at first you're like, well, that sounds kind of dumb. I said that about God of War, what are they called? God of War Valhalla, right? So that was free DLC on Ragnarok. I was like, fucking roguelike God of War mode is going to be dumb. And I was like, this fucking rules. I was like, this is so good. But it is more of a combat game. So the roguelike mode I've heard is fun. And I should say roguelite instead of roguelike. It is more of a light. I know that there's like, they all have the same core things, but one's more fleshed out, and
the other one's light.
Similar. They're pretty similar genres. But yes, I've said butter many times too. Look, it's hard to be a professional, but I'm never gonna stop. So yes, it is an interesting thing, and you can't really complain about getting free content at the end of the day, right? It's if you love the game, you don't
have to play it.
Yeah,
at the end of the day.
Exactly. It just, my only concern once again is the resource allocation of Naughty Dog, if it is them working on it. So, you're not going to play it anyway, so. And then again, neither am I, because I still don't own the remake. I only own the OG because it was fucking cheap. I did want to play it, but it went real cheap, and I was like, bro, I can drop $10 on The Last of Us 2, and then I loved it. So, not without its problems, but great game.
So, hey, sometimes the thing that pushes you over the line is a good price.
Yeah. Dude, so many times. Like, I've been on record before saying, this wasn't a price thing. This is actually the opposite. Hamish is playing that fucking wheel. That human horse racing game.
I love that his profile picture is just one of our mates.
And just his face just twisted.
Yeah.
Let's say, so this is a terrible tale of a time I was relatively poor, but so Shovel Knight, I was like, man, I don't pay full price for this game, so like a piece of shit, I pirated it, right? Played through it, loved it, finished it, great, uninstalled it, and then I was like, maybe a year later, I was like, bro, I want to play through that again. Pirated it a second time, piece of shit, I understand. Right, played through it, loved it, that's great. By the third time I wanted to play it, I'm like, you need to stop being a piece of shit and actually buy this fucking game. Like, you can't do this. Like, I have not pirated a lot of games in my life, and I don't know what it was that I was like, it's just too steep. Every time I looked at it, the price went up. If I just bought it initially when I played it, I would have got it for cheaper. And like a fucking idiot and piece of shit, eventually I bought it. I played through it. I absolutely adored it. Even the third playthrough, I was like, this is one of the best games I've played in my life. And now I've got them on my fucking wall, alright?
And those are steel posters.
Yeah, I won't shout out the website because they don't sponsor us, but they're nice. They're nice. I do like the metal posters. But I haven't on the record, I haven't pirated a game in a long time, okay? Because I'm now a good boy. But that was just like, what was I fucking doing? Like, the game deserved my money from the first time, right? I clearly loved it, and I was just like, nah, I'm a piece of shit. So,
but isn't that also quite a good endorsement? It's just like, this game is so good. I felt bad pirating it, so I want to support the team.
Yeah, I really felt a bit of guilt from that, as I should. So. Actually, there was another thing. Sorry to bring back to stop killing games, but there was a thing of people saying if the line dude, it's like there was a term. It's like if someone's like if if paying for it isn't owning it, then piracy isn't stealing, right? So if I you know, that's what other people say. Like, if I purchase this, if I spend money on this, if I spend $120 and I don't own it, then what's the difference of me, like, downloading this from a dodgy site, right? Because
imagine if you just had a license for those figurines or statuettes behind you.
and they just, my license gets revoked, and then they just blurred out, and you can't see them anymore.
Yeah. No,
They
they
don't
get
disappear.
repoed.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, so, you know, Miyazaki from Software comes and takes my fucking Dark Souls collectibles away from me. I believe it.
But
And
yeah.
and I agree and disagree with that statement. It's I understand that when you're purchasing any game, right? I'm purchasing digital games. I've got over 2,000 games on Steam because I got addicted to buying bundles and farming cards and selling them and buying more bundles because I'm an idiot. That's what me and my boss used to do. It's good times. I understand that it is a license. All of those games in there are a license. But Steam hasn't been revoking my games. You know? Yes, there are games, like I said earlier, Lawbreakers, which is in there and is dead. But I understand they are licenses. But at the end of the day, it's just how it is in the modern day. And maybe some people like the terminology has to change. And instead of saying purchase game, it's like purchase license. And maybe that's all that will change. Is like all these games will say purchase license, and that doesn't really fix the issue, but it does fix one thing. And maybe some games are like, "Hey, we're DRM free, and you own this game completely. This is all yours. We can't take it away from you." But maybe they won't. Who knows?
I don't know. It's also like as weird, and the fact it's like a fair amount of us grew up on physically owning games.
Yeah,
and it's just like those you didn't have a license for them. You own them. That is your game.
yeah. You could not take my copy of Crash Team Racing on PlayStation 1 away from me unless you came into my house and stole it.
It took it away from me.
Those bastards took my copy of Crash Team Racing on the PlayStation 1. I think I've still got it.
It looked really good on the Trinitron.
Yeah, my Sony Trinitron that I've got in my spare room. Yeah.
That was fucking hefty and heavy.
Yeah, Stephen helped me lift that TV. This man didn't believe me that Trinitron was a brand, and he helped me lift the TV, and he's like, "You're lying." I'm like, "It was on the TV you lifted, mate." What do you mean?
Oh, it just sounded like it sounded like a made up name. Like
Hey, all names are made up. So, yes, the chronological mode's there if you want to play it or not. But, you know, I'm not your dad, man. I'm not going to tell you what to play. Except Astrobot, because that fucking rules. So, I want to talk to you about what games you're looking forward to in 2025. And to be honest, this has been a stacked year, but there's not a heap of Lewis games, right? But I can still appreciate a lot of the games that are coming out. So, one game I wanted to say anyway was, well, I guess two games. So Donkey Kong Bonanza came out today. It's out right now, and I'm recording this stupid ass show. All right, This game has got a 10 out of 10 from IGN. Who knows what that's worth? But it's getting 9s and 10s across the board. So it's a game that I was like, I am looking forward to it, like a 6 out of 10 looking forward to, which is still like I've bought it, I want to play it, but I wasn't like crazy hyped, but I know it's going to be good. That was one of them. And then the other game, my next, well, actually more anticipated, and I couldn't believe it that this was the game. It was Ninja Gaiden Ragebound, the 2D one. Holy shit, this looks so fucking good. This is my most anticipated game coming out, at least that's announced to come out this year. So I'm sure there's a heap of games I'm missing. I think Neo 3 might be out later this year, which I'm looking forward to as well. But this game looks fucking awesome. So we've talked about this a couple of times. It is a 2D platformer, like action platformer, and it just looks amazing. So I know that's on your list as well.
Yeah.
What have you got, mate? What are you looking forward to?
2 games in the DLC. I am looking forward to, of course, Ninja Gaiden 4. I'm very hyped for that. Ninja Gaiden Ragebound. I also love the differentiators between like the old school Ninja Gaiden and new school. New school one is like tight leather. He has like the falcon like ornament headband. But because it's like retro, they went with the design of the old 2D platformers of wearing like the blue and like a little splash of red on like the cuffs and the trimmings. I was like, that's awesome. That's cool. Um, and of course, the DLC I'm looking forward to is Alex for Street Fighter 6.
Oh yeah, of course.
But the thing, I think the only gripe everyone's been having with the season passes is, yeah, Street Fighter 5 got 6 characters per pass. Um, 6 only gets 4, and they've come out and said it's like, yeah, the reason why we only have 4 is it's a lot of resource and time to make 4 characters, and we can do it. We feel if we did more, we would have delays, and we don't want that. So for now, we're sticking to 4. But also, we get um, first character Sagat dropping soon. Then we get Crimson Viper a little bit later this year. Unfortunately, Alex and that one I don't really care about. Um, they drop early next year, so there is quite the gap between the characters. Like, I kind of get it. You gotta like sort of pad it out, but also one thing that I'm also happy. This is a tiny side tangent. Is Capcom would be, or for Street Fighter 6, they'd be mainly prioritizing the world tour, like accessories and costumes. And a lot of people was like, man, just we've been harping on about this. Just give us more DLC like costumes, for the horny man. Um, give me some, not me, but give us Chun Li and Cammy DLCs, and then just not out of nowhere, Capcom was like, yeah, we're releasing like swimsuit DLC.
Hell yeah, brother.
Yeah, it's like, and people was like, this is all we wanted.
Look, honestly, there is a market out there for the Gooners. Like, you got to do a little bit for the Gooners, right?
Oh, bro, friggin' heckin' fuck. Street Fighter 5, Chun-Li had the most DLC costumes out of everyone.
I
For a
believe
reason. Because she sells.
Absolutely, I get it. She got them thighs on her.
Yeah.
I realised before, I'm like, this hasn't been like a Lewis year for games, and I sound a little entitled because now I'm looking at the games I've played this year. Heap of them on Game Pass. Game Pass, it's been a great year for Game Pass, really. Like Doom the Dark Ages, I say, I think my problem is that there's a heap of games that came out this year that I think are good, but there's few that I love, and I think that's where I'm kind of probably a little off on there. But I was like, Doom the Dark Ages, which I played through, I really enjoyed. Like, it was good. It didn't blow me away, but I was like, that was good. I liked it. Split Fiction, I really enjoyed. Game was good. The last level blew my damn mind, but overall, it's good. Mario Kart World, I'm like, yeah, it's good, but yeah, South of Midnight was all right. Elden Ring Night Rain, I'm like, okay, this game did fucking slap. It's up my alley. I mean, Expedition 33, amazing. Masterpiece, absolutely love it. I adore it. Ghost of Yote's coming out, which I'm on the fence about.
Ghost of Lil Yachty.
Yeah, Ghost of Lil Yachty, featuring T-Pain. I don't know if they've done a song together. I just think it'd be a nice match. I think they'd go out and get some chicken tenders together because I know Lil Yachty doesn't eat vegetables, so I think I saw that on Cold Ones. I mean, Cold Ones, Hot Ones, the other ones. There's a lot of good games. Like Expedition 33 was exceptional. So I'm not trying to be that guy. Wu Shang Fu and Feathers is coming out as well, which is on Game Pass. Comes out in a week. That seems like a Lewis Arts game. And Liza P Overture, right? So the Liza P DLC. I think I'm just sounding ungrateful. I think it's actually been a great year. It's just even for me, but I guess it's just not. Other than Expedition 33, there's not that other one like. Holy shit, like Astrobot was for me last year, or 2022 like Elden Ring was for me. As much as I love Night Rain. So, I don't know, man. I just think I'm being a spoiled cunt.
ran into one of the bros and asked him, "Was like, how's Elden Ring, Night Rain going?" I was like, "Yeah, pretty good."
Yeah,
I'm sure he won't mind if we say the name on the podcast.
Go on.
That was Ruben.
Oh, of course, yeah.
Yeah.
He's still loving it, man. Like I've put some hours in. I've put hours in, man, but he has put
a
more.
shift. No, you put in a shift. He put on a roster.
Yeah. Let me see. He's got 136 hours on that game.
So when it comes to like saying that there hasn't been
before.
Oh yeah.
I just want to see my time just before we get away from that. I've got 71 hours on it, so he's not quite, but nearly doubled.
That was on launch week, by the way.
Imagine. Sorry, but go on.
Would you say it's like they're like sounding a bit like entitled or like not much games, great games? Would you say it's almost like you're instead of having like a fucking mind blowing epic fucking feed, it's you've had an assortment of just like a sampling platter of things that are really, really good.
Yeah, like I'm not getting like a Michelin star meal, right? I'm not getting
like Tire Man.
It is. Well, it's the same company, funny enough. It's like I'm still mind blown that the Guinness Book of World Records is the same as the beer company. I had no fucking idea. I just assumed they had the same name. But yeah, that's it, man. That's it. And you're still full. You're still content. You still enjoyed it. You still enjoyed getting your ultimate burger meal from KFC. Okay, you still enjoyed it. But it's just not. It's not that fine dining. And
breathing.
And there's nothing wrong with it. They've all been really good games. I think this is like almost feeling like another historic year of like really high quality games. I think Expedition 33 broke me a little bit too because the bar got set so high earlier in the year that there's a game would have to be truly exceptional to blow me away. And I guess Night Rain was that for me as well. Dude, I am just a spoiled cunt. That's all it is. Fuck. God damn it.
It's always a mind. No, it's not really silly. But the thing with like Expedition 33 was like not a AAA studio, but it wasn't amateur by anything. But it's almost like hey, take note, AAA games.
Yeah,
this is what passion can do.
Yeah, this is what passion and actually good writing can do. So this is also got Square Enix being like, oh, maybe we do need to do a high budget turn-based game again. I hope they do, man, because like I said, Final Fantasy 16, it just didn't do it for me. It was so flashy, and then I was like, man, I'm kind of bored of this combat. I'm just doing the optimal strategies over and over because it felt like there was only one way to... Like, yes, you could have played more, but it's like, oh, here's what's optimal. I'll just keep doing it. And it didn't matter who the enemy was. You fight every enemy in the exact same way.
Which is sort of like talking about like how it looks pretty and stuff. Did you ever dabble Jump Force?
No, but that looked kind of fucking ugly.
Oh yeah, no, it was ugly, but it was like, I was like, oh, like the special effects and like, fighting effects are real cool. But at the end of the day, it was just an anime arena fighter. It was just like, it looked cool, but you were just doing your optimal combat routes.
Yeah, and I guess some people as well, and I understand it would be hard to be like, we want these games that all these characters who look different and all in different anime styles. We need to make them all look good in this other style, right? Yeah, and it's not an easy task. But you know what? Smash Bros does it, and they do it well. And people are like, yeah, but the Nintendo characters they can all look the same. They had Solid Snake in there, bro, and he looked the part. They put Mega Man in there. There's so many characters that were non-Nintendo characters that fit. So you can do it if you are clever enough. Like even Samus, right? Yes, Nintendo character, but Metroid games don't look as cutesy as Mario and Kirby and Yoshi and all of those, right? They made Samus work from the Nintendo 64 version and look great. So you can do it, but it's not easy. But Nintendo did it and they proved it.
Well, also, another example is you put Ryu, Ken, and Terry next to Pyromithra, Kirby's big bad, Shadow Knight, Meta Knight.
Yeah, dude, I forgot his name.
And say, Chuck and Sora. By the way, they're like their style and stuff. You can be like, yeah, they're all from the same game. No one sticks out like a sore thumb.
Yeah, you've got Cloud fighting Link, fighting Banjo-Kazooie, fighting Bayonetta, and they all fucking work. Like
fighting fucking Animal Crossing villager,
fighting Ridley from Metroid, like it all fucking works, bro. Bowser, you chuck them all in. It can be done. Like it needs. I mean, really. I don't think the artists at Nintendo get enough praise because people are so graphics driven, right? And they're just like, Mario, look at this little animated dude, whatever. But man, they made it all fucking work. Those artists are doing God's work for that because those Jump Force games are ugly as sin. It's fucking hideous.
They look like clay dolls.
Yeah. They tried to kind of go into anime characters and try to make them not hyper realistic, but they try to make them a little bit real, and it just made everything look fucking awful.
And like
you're saying, probably the particle effects and stuff are probably cool, but
yeah,
but the rest of it's ugly, and the game didn't play amazing from what I hear. Like, because those Naruto Storm games, they are fun as fuck. They are fun like arena fighters.
And also the other thing that a selling point for the Ultimate Ninja Storm games is it's a pretty faithful retelling of the series.
Yeah.
Like I'm pretty sure I want to say one of our mates, Jesse, he peeled through the Ultimate Ninja Storm games, and I don't think he's ever watched Naruto, but he knows that like when I was like watching it, he knew the story bits and stuff.
Yeah. I've seen a lot of Naruto fights because one of my mates, he would always show me, he's like, bro, check this fight out. And I'm like, yeah, that goes pretty hard. But I haven't watched a heap of Naruto, but I've played quite a few of the games. And you know what? Didn't matter I hadn't watched the anime. The games were great. So yeah.
Yeah.
Shout out.
Yeah, shout out Naruto Ultimate Ninja Storm.
Yeah, dude. Did it. Naruto to Boruto. I think that was the last one.
I would also say it was more faithful than, say, Kakarot. Because Kakarot, I was just like, alright, this is a cool retelling and stuff. But, dude, there was so... Because with Ninja Storm, you'd sort of go... Yeah, you could, like... Not do your own thing. Everything was sort of linear. But it was basically like story beat, story beat, story beat. With Kakarot. Oh, this is the 4th time I've talked about Dragon Ball Z. Look at that.
It's you every time. Like, it's you every fucking time.
You'd do a section as like a main story bit, and then it would be like, cool, now collect these 5 bits of fruit for Chi-Chi, but the 5 fruits are scattered across the world map. And I was just like, This game does not respect my time.
And that's why I stopped playing it. It's okay. But yeah, so with these Microsoft layoffs that have happened recently, there's a few more. There's a few more to talk about. So this was a quote that I had seen on Twitter. So someone had said King staff laid off by Microsoft, said to be replaced by AI tools they helped build. Studio morale, quote unquote, in the gutter. So that's really depressing though, to be like the people that work on the tools and then they go, hey, thanks for working on those for us. Get fucked. Like being someone who's like, you're working on the thing to replace you. And I understand like a studio like King who make Candy Crush and those kind of games, right? I think they also did like some Call of Duty mobile stuff. I get there being AI involved in making future levels of Candy Crush or something because they just need to just feed the machine. Which also, actually, great Nickelback song.
Very good.
Album, really average. That song, superb. You're like, bro, is this fucking gent? You're like, what the fuck?
I heard that and Coin for the Ferryman are like their heaviest songs.
Yeah, that Coin for the Ferryman didn't do as much for me, but it wasn't a bad tune. Also, some early Nickelback's actually pretty heavy. Like the riffs, like overall, you're like, you hear it and you're like, damn, who's this? And then you hear the vocals, you're like, oh, it's Nickelback. And then you're like, you know what? I'll hear it out. And you're usually pleasantly surprised. People forget how fucking big Nickelback was, man. People forget. Because I remember when Nickelback was like one of the biggest bands on the planet. It's fucking crazy. They're one of the last truly big rock bands. It'd be like the Foo Fighters ended up being the bigger one. But Nickelback was like fucking massive. You couldn't go anywhere without hearing Nickelback. And everyone fucking loved them. And then the meme started, Nickelback sucks. And we had friends that got on the band where it was like, well, bro, you used to like Nickelback. What the fuck? And that's what happened. The memes did it. I don't think it was genuine hate from most people.
There was like, they fell victim to like, there was 3 other people, well, 2 bands before them that the same thing happened. Like, they're not really my cup of tea, but, you know, Simple Plan had quite the following. And then the meme was just like, Simple Plan sucks. It happened to Creed. Creed got memed on.
I love this Creed.
And then, yeah.
Simple Plan had some good tunes. It's not my thing, but I enjoyed Simple Plan back when I was a young man.
And they're big fucking Scooby-Doo nerds.
Yeah, they did that song, Scooby-Doo.
Which also reminds me, the band Ghost. I remember hearing someone read a comment describing them as just like their music style was just Scooby-Doo chase music.
Yeah, it kind of is. Ghost has never done it for me. You know, I don't have much positive or negative to say about Ghost, but I'm like, yeah, it's not my cup of tea. But you know, and that's okay. There's a guy at work who absolutely loves Kiss, and then he was saying like, because we were talking about the Ozzy Osbourne like farewell show. One of the guys, and he was like, "Oh, Ozzy Osbourne, I'm the Prince of Darkness." I'm like, bro, doesn't your favorite band wear clown makeup? Shut the fuck up. Like, I get, right, if you're being Prince of Darkness, sure, a little edgy, but man, Kiss is just wearing clown makeup. And look, I don't even dislike Kiss, but throwing stones in glass houses, man, like, come on now. Gene Simmons has got a long tongue. Whoa, zany. Apparently, he's a real cunt.
Yeah, doesn't believe in marriage.
Look, who does? Marriage isn't even real, mate. It's just a myth made up by women to get half our money. That's what it is.
It's just a concept. No, it's just a concept that our grandparents told our parents that forgot to tell us.
I agree, Stephen. I agree. Everything we're saying right now is absolutely 100% what we believe in and the God honest truth. That's hand on my heart. Imagine that in that moment, I just fucking die.
And then I'll be like, rumors that
allegedly.
So yeah, getting replaced by the AI that you trained or you built. that's this has happened before. Like, you're training up, or someone's training like the new person so they can replace you.
Yeah. It's a terrible feeling, man. Like, being replaced by AI in general must suck. Like, really, really would. But being replaced by AI that you've helped build and tools you've helped build is just, yeah, like I said, that morale, the studio morale in the gutter. Absolutely. Morale, this is something Microsoft don't seem to understand with like Xbox and their studios, is that they keep gutting these places and morale is just going to be so fucking low. The quality of the products is going to get worse. And it's already not, the quality's not as high as like I said, I've been loving some of the games coming out on Game Pass this year, right? And some of them Microsoft ones, some of them aren't. But the quality's only going to get worse, and your quality bar is already not as high as Sony's or as Nintendo's. So you don't want to be doing this kind of shit, because the bar's just going to get lower, and you're going to get worse products, because people aren't going to want to work for you anymore. They're going to start going to your competition. So just dial it back a little, Microsoft. All right.
Just imagine though, like, two people get laid off. One of them's absolutely beside himself, sobbing, and the other one's just like hand on the shoulder, like, it's all right. I was worried that this might happen, so with the pressure of this button, I just make it turns the AI real racist.
Every Candy Crush level, there's a swastika. Every single one. You can't complete it without creating it. They're like, oh fuck! Like,
the guy's just like, it's like just a click of a button, and
every Candy Crush level, the 50-year-old woman boot up the game, and that's all they fucking see.
Or it's just, and obviously won't list what they are, but they're just like stereotypes and racial caricatures.
Oh no. We might have gone too far on this one. Oh, that's wild. That's funny. That's funny. There's also on the Xbox stuff rumors that the ZeniMax, I think it's just called ZeniMax Online Studios, which, I mean, stupid name, let's be honest. But this is the team that made The Elder Scrolls Online. They were working on a project called Blackbird, which was a first-person looter shooter. It sounds like MMO, kind of like Destiny, that when Phil Spencer was playing it, they had to, like, he didn't want to put the controller down. He was having such a good time. This is what's leaked from the studio. He was loving it. Everyone who was working on it was super passionate about it, and it wasn't that it wasn't looking good. It was just that they were like, oh well, this game hasn't made enough progress, and we want you to work on what's rumored is they're doubling down on Fallout through Bethesda in general. So the Bethesda Publishing, so ZeniMax Online Studios is going to be working on something Fallout related. Rumors are they're going to be getting another team working on a Fallout project as well. Bethesda, finally Fallout 5 has been greenlit, but who fucking cares, because they announced the new Elder Scrolls game like 10 years ago, and we haven't seen anything from it. So that game's coming out in 20 fucking years. The corpse of Todd Howard's going to be rolled out. They're going to weekend at Bernie's and fucking make him look like he's talking. I almost, but it was like, oh, make him look like he's talking.
No, I thought you would have been like.
I was trying to like just like make it look like my mouth was zapping, but I just look like a throat and dicks.
No, it looks like you are ripping bong.
I don't know, bro. What am I doing with my life? Yeah, so it's a shame because it sounded like what was there was really fucking good, and everyone was super passionate about it. They loved working on it, and Microsoft's like, nah. So the rumors are that this stuff is now no longer coming from the Microsoft, the Xbox executives. This is coming from higher up, like Microsoft executives that are cutting it. It's no longer, people are now calling it, it's no longer Xbox, it's Microsoft Gaming. So it's sad because there has to be an amount of, there's got to be a balance between the money people and the creatives, right? There has to be a mix of the corporate and creatives, because if you only have one, you don't have the other, right? If you've only got money, you don't have games because you don't have creatives. if you only got creatives, you don't have a game because you don't have money. Like, yes, you got indie, and let's be honest, indie's kind of the best place to fucking play games half the time there anyway. But if you want an amazing AAA experience, you've got to have both. So I think Microsoft's doing what they do, and they're leaning far too much into the money side and the corporate side, and they're not a creative company historically, right? They're a services company. And I think that's why they probably love Game Pass internally, because it's a service. It's what Microsoft does. It's what they know. It's sad because Project Blackbird sounded interesting. I like Destiny a lot. I think that Bungie kind of dropped the ball with it after a while, but I think there is room for another one of those types of games, like a looter shooter MMO, that as long as they don't do like the Borderlands thing of here's a million fucking guns that drop from one enemy, because that was cool when I was a younger man. Playing Neo, it's like, oh cool, I've done one level and I've picked up 500 fucking swords and I got to sell all of them at the shop and go through all my inventory. I hate that shit. Don't make me fucking inventory manage my fucking life. I don't want to be.
Especially if the game is fast paced.
Yeah. No, thank you.
No, thank you, sir.
So something that I think was an interesting move. So High on Life 2 is coming out, and they put High on Life 1 back on Game Pass. So they must have paid them some more money. Check that on Game Pass, and I think I'm going to give it another go. So last time I played it day one, and I found a game-breaking bug like 4 hours in or something, 3 hours, maybe 3 hours in. And I was like, I'm not playing this game through again, so I can get back to this point. But maybe I'll try boot up my save and see if I can redeem it. And if I can't, maybe I start again. It's only supposed to be like a 10-hour game, and I actually did enjoy it. Look, don't shame me, but I was a Rick and Morty enjoyer, okay? And the last season, I haven't been watching this new season, but I did see that James Gunn, Zack Snyder fucking scene that seemed very cringe. Very Reddit, as someone who is a James Gunn enjoyer, not really a Zack Snyder enjoyer, but it's okay. I really like 300. Okay, 300, great movie. Zack Snyder though, I look at his back and I'm like, man, I'm just not into this. Army of the Dead, that's kind of a fun movie, but yeah. Cringe Reddit moment. Very soy, not base, not red pill, do not pass go, do not collect $200. Yeah, but High on Life has a lot of that Rick and Morty humor that I actually do enjoy because I've got a high IQ and understand Rick and Morty. So I just sort of stopped leaning at stupid fucking bits, bro. I just gotta stop doing it. I don't want people to think these are my actual opinions. I did enjoy the show, but I'm not this Redditor, alright? I'm not
Szechuan sauce.
Wubba lubba dub dub. So yeah, I might play it. Do you think you'll play High on Life, Stephen? Are you interested?
Yeah, no, I think I'll give it a dabble.
The shooting I found was serviceable, but it's not bad. But that's not what the game's about. It's just a silly little adventure. A lot of fun voices of Justin Roiland may be a weirdo and does some questionable things. Maybe, allegedly. But he does some fun voices in it, and you got Michael Cusack from the hit video YOLO 1 and 2. And you got like Psychic Pebbles and guys like that. So there's familiar voices that even if you don't know their names, you're like, oh, I recognise that voice. Oh shit. It's fun.
All I need is only G.
He could be in there. I wouldn't be surprised. I don't know. I can't confirm, but he could be. And maybe LG's in there too.
I'll quote you on that. 0 out of 10. LG was not in High on Life.
Butty boy.
You can't say that.
Oh, you can't say that. It's 2025. It's not PC. I just don't remember enough LEG quotes, unfortunately. Dude, as a kid watching LEG, I thought it was so stupid. As an adult, I'm like, this is hilarious. Oh man. So, yeah, honestly, I don't have a lot this episode, but we can move. We're going to move on to the next bit. So, Smash or Game Pass. So I've brought forwards today Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3 and 4, and I've dabbled a little bit, and I've got to say, man, I'm just not that guy anymore. I've been playing a little bit of 3. So my understanding is that 4 didn't used to be the same formula as the others, right? The others are like, you've got 2 minutes or however many minutes to skate around and do the things, right?
2.
But 1, 2, and 3, I think.
Oh no, it is, yeah, for 3 and 4, it's the 2 minute.
Yeah, but 4 wasn't always like that. 4 was like, you'd go around and you'd talk to the people around the park and they'll get you to do a little quest. And I actually way preferred that. And they've turned 4 into the formula of the others. And I'm just not feeling it. Like, I played maybe like an hour or something, and I'm like, this is alright. But I'm like, I just don't know if I'm this guy anymore. And that's kind of sad, because I loved the Tony Hawk's games back in the day. But I think it's... Am I a Smash or a Game Pass? I guess I'm a Game Pass, but not because the game's bad. I think it's just because my tastes have changed, ultimately.
It's the only, like, Game Pass game that I've dabbled recently. Well, new one. And since I can't say a soft Smash, it would have to be like a bit of a Game Pass. Cause, yeah, I was just like, I just want to be doing the half pipe, trying to pop as many 900s as I can, get lots of air. But then I remembered, like, the stuff that I wasn't too like, I didn't really care for, and that's like, I love the just trying to get the trick attacks, just trying to get high scores, and like the little things like, oh, knock all these valves off. I was like, okay, that's fine. They didn't really care for like collecting all like the letters in the word skate. What I didn't like, because I don't really have much nostalgia for 3 and 4, because I didn't really play them. I have more nostalgia for 1 and 2. And I don't know, it's just like getting, for these missions, like getting locked to, you have 2 minutes to do it. So like, that means I'm going to have to, I mean, yeah, roguelikes, you go through multiple roguelikes, you go through something multiple times with a different strategy, but it's like, I was like, okay, I don't really care for like the first level, like the plant, and it's just like, no, you need to at least hit X amount of objectives before you can go on to the second one. I was like, all right, I guess I'm gonna spell the word skate. I'm gonna get top score, and yeah, no, there's a perfect way of putting it. It's like, I just think Tony Hawk 1 and 2 were like, they were cool.
Yeah. This might be the first time we've both passed, I think, ever. Like, normally we're super positive about the games we bring forwards, and it's been a great year for Game Pass. It's probably been the best year in Game Pass's history. They've got so many bangers. It's not resonating with me like it used to, and it's
apparently the soundtrack got absolutely gutted. It got gutted, apparently.
Yeah, because it's hard to get the rights for the same stuff. I know that they really tried to, the songs they couldn't get, they really tried to get similar, like, you know, basically off vibes, similar types of music and stuff, but yeah, they did. It's not a bad game, and I think they did try as well with that soundtrack. It just ain't hitting the same. as a 32-year-old man that's never ridden a skateboard in his life, like, yeah, sorry, Anthony Hawk, professional skateboarder 3 and 4. It's a Game Pass from us this time, and this doesn't mean that you shouldn't play it. If you still love Tony Hawk, I mean, I love Tony Hawk, the man. What a guy! Seems like a great dude.
That's a man.
I want to say his story about his mum having dementia or something similar, but when he went to visit her and she didn't recognize him, absolutely breaks my heart. It genuinely makes me so sad just hearing that. I was like, man, a skateboard is going to make me cry. Fuck you, Tony Hawk. But no, it was just heartbreaking, man. So I really think Tony Hawk, great dude. But just the games aren't for me anymore, I don't think. And that's kind of sad to say. I thought nostalgia would have got me through. But not today.
Times change and so do taste.
And like I always say, then that's okay. Oh god. It's like please don't hate me for my opinion, please. Please don't hate me.
It's basically your version of, not that there's anything wrong with that.
No, I mean, end of the day, man, everyone's got their own opinions. And that's fine, man. I think a lot of people are going to enjoy this, and I think it's a great addition to Game Pass as well.
Hell yeah.
So I finished Pac-Man World Repack. Once again, 3D platformer, more in lines of your Crash Bandicoot than your Spyro, just for example, PlayStation 1 era platformer. And the game, genuinely very good, man, from start to finish. I completed all the levels 100%. There's only one level that I didn't do. And so when you complete all the levels, you go back to you're at the start and it goes, hey, here's these little bonus levels for you, right? And they're just traditional Pac-Man levels. Pretty much, like, you know, with slight modern twists of like, here's one where rocks fall on you, here's one where fire burns you and stuff. Oh, okay, cool, right? So there's, I can't remember how many there were of those that I had to do that were extra, that weren't just the bonus stages. I did all those and I'm like, cool, what percentage have I got? 97%. I'm like, okay, great. We're nearly there. What do I have to do now? It's like, you've unlocked marathon mode. I'm like, okay, get the last 3%. What's that? You got to do 36 of these maps back to back to back. I'm like, I'm not fucking doing it, bro. I'm not playing 36 traditional Pac-Man maps back to back. Put a gun in my fucking mouth. So, as much as I did enjoy those ones as well, I liked doing them as individuals. I am not doing 36 of those in a row, bro. I'm just not fucking doing it. Yeah. I don't care that it's a fucking marathon, cunt. I'm not doing it. Overall, though, if you're a completionist, then maybe not. But if you're someone who likes 3D platformers of that era, it's genuinely a very good game. And the repack version, it visually looks really good. It's still faithful to the original, but everything just looks nice. It looks round, which is good for Pac-Man because he is round. It's like,
yeah,
you know what I mean? You've played it.
Yeah.
It's got
charming.
Everything's got a nice roundness to it. The Ghosts, Pac-Man, all of them. Yeah. So you played a little bit more recently. What are your thoughts?
I like it. Like, I couldn't, because I feel a little bit spoiled in the graphics department. It's like I couldn't go back to playing the original one. Like the original one was cool, but I don't know. It's just real charming the way he like does the whole chubby floating thing.
Yeah, it's fun. It's a nice touch, eh?
Yeah. No, it's a charming and pleasant to watch and play game. It's not a groundbreaking platformer. It is a traditional platformer with a real awesome coat of paint on it, and that's not a bad thing.
Yeah, sometimes that's what you want. Sometimes you want the full remake with all the bells and whistles, and sometimes you just want a coat of paint. And this game gets the coat of paint, some slight quality of life and slightly tighter feeling controls, and just
that's all it needed.
They've done a good job. Like, interested with like the Crash Bandicoot like trilogy remaster, right? Was that Insane Trilogy? Those are games that I probably would have even preferred just a coat of paint because I felt like the original ones actually feel a little tighter. But overall, I'm not mad that they've remade them. I'm like, I like the remakes. I actually had a harder time on, is it Road to Nowhere or one of those levels in the remake than I did in the original Crash one, which I played not that long before that came out, and I was like, I'm just a little off. But
well, it's because isn't it because it's running off the Crash 3 engine?
It feels a little more like Crash 3 than the others. So the jumping I couldn't get right going from the start of Crash, from Crash 1 to the remake of Crash 1. I felt a little off, but overall, no, that's great as well. That's just getting gassed up because it's great and it's great fucking value. If you buy that on sale, it's 3 games and they're all fucking excellent. I'm a weirdo and Crash 1's my favourite. People are like, oh, it's because you got nostalgia for it. Crash 3 was the first one I actually owned. And that's my second favourite. Most diehard Crash fans will tell you 2's the best. And I say, it's also good, but fuck you.
And I say, fuck them.
Yeah. Crash 2 is very good as well. They're all great games, man. So, yep, they got gassed up for no reason. I just like talking about Crash Bandicoot. Dude, it's hilarious. Years ago, when it came out, when we were partying quite a bit back then, I'll be honest, mate, I was drinking a bit. I was dabbling. I'd get home drunk. The game I wanted to play was Crash Bandicoot. I'd be wasted, stumble in and play like half an hour of Crash Bandicoot before going to bed. And it was fucking awesome, man. I was still not bad at Crash 1 when I was blitzed, so.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. So I haven't been playing much. I haven't had much time, but I've been playing a little bit of Liza P Overture. So I don't have much to say yet because I've done most of kind of the first DLC level, and I'm like, this is good. I like this. I thought I was got to be soft and be like, no, but you know, I haven't played Liza P since it came out, and I'm going to be really bad at this now, and oh no. And then I was like, shut up, bitch. And then I started playing it. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm alright at this. The boss fights are going to be the real tell.
The real tester.
So I haven't got anything new yet. There's really not much to talk about in that yet. It's more Liza P, which is great because the game's great. And the next one is kind of similar again. They released new Astrobot levels, and I'm like, man, can Astrobot DLC, free DLC, be Game of the Year in 2025 as well?
You'll make it.
No, I can't. But, dude, so fucking good. The characters they've added, who I won't spoil if anyone wants to play them. It's about fucking time they added a couple of these. But the 5th level of that DLC pack is so fucking hard. It might be the hardest level in the game, but it may be the second hardest level. So, don't know, it's up there, but it's very, very good. So I was so happy playing this again and getting the little characters and then buying their little things from the vending machine. Oh, dude, did I send you that snap of one of the characters? Are you using Snapchat?
Yeah, no, I saw it and I was like, that's cool.
It's so fucking cool. It's so nice, man. I just once again had this big goofy ass smile on my face. That only
Especially
Astrobot.
the meter filled up.
Yeah, it's so fun, man. No game makes me feel joy like Astrobot. Like Expedition 33 is amazing. It's a masterpiece. I think everyone should play it. And I had a mate that's like, no, you can spoil it for me, and I'm like, no, I'm not going to do that because it's too fucking good. But that game doesn't make me feel joy like Astrobot does. That game made me feel really fucking sad in a good way. Dude, I was watching Alex play the ending of that game, and I got upset again. I was like, oh god. I'm like, oh no, it's even sadder the second time. Yeah. So it's so nice though to have this contrast of 1 year. I mean, the year's not over yet, so it could change, but 2024, Astrobot, my game of the year, right? Absolutely adored it. Just brought me so much joy. 2025, game of the year, real fucking sad one. So it's a nice contrast, really. I mean, I haven't played Donkey Kong yet. Some people are saying it might actually be the goatee. So
The goatee.
who knows? But yes, if you have a PS5 and you have Astrobot, please play these levels. They are excellent. They are challenging, but they are worth it. They're rewarding. So what about you, Stephen? What have you been playing, mate?
So some Dragon Ball Z Xenoverse DLC. So I'm putting up the 5 fingers.
Well, at least there's a big enough gap now. We're at an hour and 25 minutes, so I'll allow it.
It's fine. Like it's Xenoverse. Like it's cool. If you haven't played it, there's a lot of value for content there. They are still just churning out stuff for that game. That game is old. But apart from that, I finished maybe I think I a couple of weeks ago finished Ninja Gaiden,
Oh, nice.
and I've just been grinding out. There's like 2 other modes you can do. One is like chapter challenge, which is basically just you're going through the levels again, but it's really about scoring a high rank, getting like Ninja Master on the levels. You get 10 and you unlock like a cost. So I'm basically costume grinding at the most. But then I had the cool mode that I enjoyed in Ninja Gaiden Sigma 2, which is I think it's called like Ninja Tag, where it's you and you can choose to be Ryu or Rachel or 2 of the other female characters.
Wait, you can play Rachel.
Rachel. But then you choose like your tag partner. So you're basically going through levels with 2 people. But if your character's getting low on health, you can just swap to the other character, or you can. It's cool. I think it's a nice touch.
Wicked. That's good. Any other games on the go, or is that I guess we've been playing Sea of Thieves as well on
Which has
Twitch.tv.
been real fun.
Twitch.tv/rect_tech. Dude, yeah, let's talk a little bit about Sea of Thieves.
Yeah.
Because we've done 2 streams of it so far, and the first one as well, good time, and as soon as we hit like the ship combat, I was like, this fucking rules. So I was like, this is awesome. So, you know, we're up on the deck and a ship just pops up out of nowhere. A lot of the time they just, because they're undead, they just pop up out of the ship, just whoop, out of the water, pops up like, oh shit. So you're manning the cannons, then you get a hole in the ship, and then Script fucking runs under and starts boarding up, and he's like, someone bail out the water, and I fucking jump down there and start bailing the water out. But everybody was like really good at calling out their role in the moment, but like, water, and you're like, sweet, he's on the water, all right, fill the cannonballs, and then you're like, yeah, and just the chaos of it, and DT's trying to like steer the ship, and it's chaos, but it's so good. And then, you know, you really, if you want to do it, you need a squad. You need 3 homies with you to really get the true experience. But it makes it worth it to do it that way. And then last night we found a message in a bottle. Shout out to the police. It was Robert Stuart. I always said Robert. Stuart Copeland's birthday the other day, mate. So just saying, happy birthday to him. Shout out to Sting and his long meditations, his sessions to have tantric sex. Shout out to that guy.
The musician, not the retired wrestler.
Maybe both of them. I don't know. Maybe they fuck each other. Oh god. So we find a message in a bottle, and then we're all ready for bed, right? Everyone's ready for bed, and they're like, oh, but the message in the bottle won't come over to the next session. We're like, all right. So we look at the map, and it's like, it's as far away as it could be on the map. We're like, okay, we'll head there. So we get the ship over there. We're looking for an island. There's no island. We're like, what the fuck? There's just this purple kind of swirly, like purple and like blue, like swirly, like almost Northern Lights like thing part of the map. We're like, that's weird. Okay, and we look, and that's the right spot. And then we read it, and it's kind of like buried beneath, blah blah blah. And you're like, all right, I'm gonna just fucking jump in the water and let's see what happens. And I start swimming down, and I report to the boys. I'm like, oh shit, that looks like there's some fucking hidden temple or something under here. So, you know, some people drowned on the way down, but, you know, skill issue. I didn't drown, it's fine. There's a couple of, like, it seems like these doors to go in. Nope. They block the glass. You're like, oh, what the fuck? You get all the way down to the bottom. We get into this area, and then there's a bunch of, like, little puzzles where there's a really clever use of the mechanics of, like, you'd have, like, an anchor. Right, and then you'd turn the anchor, and that would move a platform somewhere. You're like, oh shit, okay, that's a clever way to recycle those.
Platforming.
Yeah.
Wasn't expecting that.
And and then you're just gathering up all the rare resources in there, and then you can store them in these mermaids, which is interesting, right? So then you store them in the mermaids, and if you store, there's 20 bits of treasure, you store them in, and then when you get out, you can go see a mermaid in the ocean, and then you get the loot from them. So. And there's a few pirates and things, well, not pirates, but skeletons. I guess they were once pirates. That you got to fight along the way, bop their chops and platform round. And then we also got, get to the end, chuck all our loot in, we fuck off. And we also end up getting a rare artifact, which was really cool. That you can put wind in the sails, the extra wind to make the boat go faster, because it blows the air out. But also I can fuck with my boys and just make sure they can't get on the ship. And trying to get up the ladder, like blowing, and they're like, Chris was really tired because you could tell he got really annoyed when I did it. So, yeah, it is a great game to play with the homies. By myself, I couldn't play that game. It's just not that type of game for me. I know some people are like, if a game isn't fun by yourself, it's not a good game. I completely disagree. It's this isn't also like what Steven would call friend slop, which isn't, we say friend slop, but he enjoys those games. This isn't like your Repo or your Lethal Company, not those types of games. It still requires friends for it to be enjoyable, but it's more like those are cooperative, but also throw people under the bus. And yes, I was just talking about throwing my friend under the bus, but this is very like cooperative. You have to work as a team, and there's ship combat and that kind of stuff. So yeah, it's been a lot of fun. I know stuff like this normally doesn't interest me, but customizing my pirate's been kind of funny, just to show up looking absurd, and then people are like, what the fuck have you done? So yeah, have you got anything to add on Sea of Thieves? Sea of Steves?
Sea of Steves? No, I've been enjoying it, and I reckon it's got some staying power for us.
Yeah. I think we've got another few weeks of Sea of Thieves left in us. So DT will probably want to do some in-game stuff at some point, so that should be interesting. Yeah, that's unless you got anything else, that's it for what we've been playing.
Yeah, no, that's me.
Yeah, so I've got a little review to cap it off here. So it's Lies of P, and it says, experience the horror of being French. And that's from Punkington on Steam. So, yep, you get to experience the horror of being French. So that's amazing. That's something I would never wish upon my worst enemy. So, yeah. We've got a homie in my Discord who pops up every now and again. It's Ariel or Ariel. I've never got the pronunciation right because I don't know. We only talk in text chat. He's a French dude. Just pops up maybe 2 or 3 times a year. Nicest guy. So I shit on the French jokingly, but they were right in my books because Expedition 33 was excellent and Ariel's a wicked dude. So shout out to them. And shout out to that dog. Shout out to Minoko the dog on the dev team.
My review is for the game Rematch, done by the team who did Sifu. And this is from Sora50, and it says, game is called Rematch, but no rematch button in end-game screen. Should rename game to FIFU. Dev please fix. Thank you. 5 out of 5.
FIFU. I like that. I'm hearing good things about Rematch, but I don't give a fuck about football. like at all. I still haven't played Sifu. It's been on my list for so fucking long.
Good game. Good
I
game.
just need to get around to it, man. But, yeah, I'm hearing good things about Rematch, but we'll see. I've installed it. Will I play it? I'm thinking no. I think it's going to live installed on my PC for 3 or 4 months, and then I uninstall it without playing it. But it's on Game Pass.
Yeah.
So, yeah, game would have to be exceptional for me to care about football. I only like Bloodsport. I'm only interested if I see people beating each other half to death.
Yeah, yeah.
It's a true story.
That's why he's an MMA fan.
Yeah, that's why I watch UFC, I watch boxing. I watched one match of rugby this year of the finals. So the Crusaders fighting. Yeah, fight. That is how my brain works now. If people are like versing each other, it's fighting. Because I've just watched
Scrapping.
I watch UFC most weekends. So, anyway, if by some miracle you enjoyed what you saw here today, yeah, I've got a Discord, I've got a Twitch, I've got a Twitter that I occasionally post, or sorry, X. So I don't know, come check out the socials. I don't do much of this shit, mate. I don't do much of this plugging, right? But come by, say g'day. Or not. Oh no, I'm not your dad. I can't tell you what to do. Any final words, Stephen? That's not a threat, by the way. I'm not killing you.
So, it sort of links into a little bit of Sea of Thieves. So, I do have a Twitch that I'll eventually start using, maybe one day. I was messaging during the chat, and no one thought it was me. My Twitch is Strawberry Scented Sticky. Might do something with it. I might not. I might change the name of it because it's a little bit silly, but it's also kind of funny.
I thought it was a woman in the chat, I'll be honest. I saw Strawberry Scented, and I thought, there's some Sheila. And he was talking all lowercase thing, and I was like, that's a lot of time what girls do these days because they feel aggressive when they use capital letters and full stops. I got called out about it once. This was years ago, talking to some girl on a dating app, and she said, it's only dads and psychopaths that use like full stops in sentences. And I'm like, but that's correct grammar. What do you mean? What are you talking about? And she was calling me out for using correct grammar. Bruh. I wish you nothing but sadness, you whore. No, she's actually a really nice girl. I just wanted to be dramatic. God. This is what I say about this thing, man. I tap into this place. I think it's something. It's for a laugh, but I feel like I'm tapping into something genuine inside me. There's an anger inside me, Stephen. I can't control it.
There's a man inside. Oh, okay, I can't phrase.
What do you mean by it? There's no men inside me.
There's a man inside you. He's angry, but it's just you wearing a different color of plaid.
The red plaid is the angry me, and the
like,
green one's fine, the black one's fine, the blue one's fine, but the red one, fuck, he means business. All right, that's probably enough nonsense for this show. So we'll be back in 2 weeks' time with some more nonsense. We'll catch you later.
Looking forward to hearing your opinions on Donkey Kong.
Look, no promises, mate, but I'll try. All right, I promise I'll at least boot it up. I'll at least see the boot up screen.
All right.
That's a Lewis guarantee. And you can take that to the bank.
It's not worth much.
It's not worth much at all. All right, we'll catch you on the next one.
Why?